You must get rid of the toxins in your body in order to have good health. There are so many negative myths out there about colonics. And I'm going to dispel some of that negativity today by giving you really true information and correct information about colonics. So the myths are we could blow up your colon, that we put something up into your rectum 2 or 3 feet long, or that your bowel could become lazy and you couldn't eliminate anymore. So we're going to look at that today. I want you to have all the information you need to make a good choice for your health when you may decide to go in and do a colonic for gut health, which is what we're talking about today. Not all colonics are created equal. You need to understand when you have a colonic that you want to be using a Class 2 FDA-approved medical device. And that's what we have here. It's called a closed system. It has a state-of-the-art filtration system and a UV light to make sure you kill any virus or bacteria. You also have a temperature gauge here to make sure the water temperature is exactly at the body temperature for your comfort. You also have a pressure gauge to make sure the water goes in very slowly for your comfort. What we have next, this is called a speculum. It's 2.5 inches long that we put inside your rectum, and then we put the water in through this tube. Now again, we talk about these hoses. You want to make sure that they're disposable. That's really important. And attached to your speculum is your disposable hose. And no, we don't put this up inside your body. That's ridiculous. And now I'm going to show you an actual colonic session with Suzanne Gray so that you can see the benefits and you can understand how simple and easy this is as a first step to your health so that you're comfortable and you have the knowledge that you need to make that first decision. So we're here with Suzanne, and Suzanne's had the insertion, and Suzanne is going to tell us how far the speculum went inside her bum.
Well, actually, being a colon therapist and being on the table and getting a colonic from the expert of colon therapy, Brenda did a great job in inserting the speculum. It was smooth, clean, and very comfortable.
Well, good. What we're doing now is we're doing what's called the inflow. In the inflow is where we're putting water inside the colon very, very slowly, so that when Suzanne feels a feeling, she's going to tell me.
And right now I can feel the water going in, but I'm not feeling full. The water's very slow, and I'm not feeling full yet.
And you should make sure that when you're working with a therapist that they're doing the same thing. They're asking you questions. You remember, this is feedback from them, so when they're beginning to feel the water, they're going to tell you, and that's when you will do the release and the water goes out. So Suzanne's still here resting comfortably as we're getting the water inside of her and doing the inflow.
Okay, you can release it now.
Okay. We turn the flow up, and you're now on the outflow. So what we've done is we've actually inflowed water into the colon, and we've actually now, to where Suzanne said, I'm full, and I've now released the water so that it can outflow out of her body. She has said to me, I'm full, and release. And that's what we've done. And now she's on outflow.
Okay.
Are you ready?
For another fill? Absolutely.
Okay. So I'm going to take the water pressure down way, way low. That's what I'm doing, folks. I'm taking the water pressure down very low so that when I turn the fill to fill her again, then the water pressure will stay low so that she's filling inflow of water very, very slowly.
I'm really very comfortable, and I can feel the water inside my colon, and I can feel it go through a gas pocket.
Oh, That's great.
So,
So that means she's released some gas out of her colon. I want to say that when you're doing a colonic, you will be releasing gas during the colonic. So when you leave the session and go home, you should not be feeling a lot of gas if you've done a thorough job of having a colonic. So this is how a colonic session would go. There would be inflow of water into the body where the client says, I'm full now, let's release, and I release the water so that the outflow happens, which is what we're looking for. We want to get the waste out of the body, and so on the outflow, she feels a release, right, Suzanne? You feel a release, and of course we've seen some of the waste already coming out of the body. So we're a series of fill, very, very slowly. The client says, I'm ready, and then we release, and the water goes out. Along with the water going out, the toxins are going out of your body. And when you inflow water into the colon, it contracts. It has a reaction. So as you inflow, outflow, inflow, and outflow, you're actually taking out the waste. Remember the toxins in your body. You're hydrating the colon and the whole body, so you're putting water in that has an effect on your whole system. You're taking out the toxins, and many people think that when they take out the toxins, away goes all the good bacteria. That is also not true. You do not take away all the bacteria from just taking the water in and out of the colon during a colonic session. So Suzanne, how have you been with people over the years and giving them colonics?
well, you know, I've helped out a lot of people, and they enjoy getting their colonics because they get massage, we have good conversation, and they are really amazed at it, that they thought that it was really very comfortable for them.
Yeah. So actually what we're dispelling here are the myths about we would blow up your colon, because you can see we're doing very low pressure. We would not in any way stick anything up in your colon longer than 2.5 inches. Also, what colon therapy or colonics help you with is actually exercising your colon. I know for people coming into the clinic, you know, you in practice working with people, what are the common things that you see most people afraid of?
The main thing, Brenda, is that people are so nervous about the speculum being inserted into the rectum. And I tell them they have the same musculature of the anus as their mouth, and that their anus can open up as wide as their mouth. And the other thing, too, that they are concerned about, well, how am I going to know if I'm going to be full? What do I know? So I explained to them, it's just like having a bowel movement. You will feel like you have a slight cramp or you have to go to the restroom, and our piece of equipment has a pressure gauge. So when I work with people, I actually look at my pressure gauge, and I always ask my client, how are you feeling? And then the other thing that they get nervous about, well, is it going to go all over the table? I mean, I don't want anything to be squirting out. No, no, no. I said, no, everything goes right through the tube and down into the septic tank. So everything is self-contained, and it's not going to go anywhere.
The number one thing to having good overall health is making sure that you keep the colon clean and moving, right, Suzanne?
Absolutely, because we know your colon is actually like the plumbing in your house, because it is the foundation of your health. The plumbing in your house, if it gets backed up, then you have a huge mess. And we don't want that to happen in our house or in our bodies.
Exactly, and your body is carrying you through life, and you want to go through life feeling good, having high energy, and the first step is your gut health.